What's up, peeps? Sports Around the Clock is here again. Romelu Lukaku is back in the Chelsea squad. Yeah, man, we would have seen where Lukaku would have been dropped from the Chelsea squad in a recent game leading up to the big match, arguably one of the biggest match of the season against Liverpool, to take that second spot and to maintain the striking distance between themselves and Manchester City, who at the moment seem to be doing pretty well, almost like they want to run away with the title. If you haven't subscribed as yet, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the post notification bell, hit the like button, and leave a comment. Yeah, man, so let's dive right into it. So, in the recent game against Liverpool, which would have been Chelsea's last home game, when they played Liverpool, Lukaku was dropped from the squad. And this is because he did an interview, and in that interview, he made it clear that he has a desire to return to Inter Milan. Now, the coach was having none of it leading up to the big game against Liverpool. The coach thought then that this would have been the best thing for him to do, to drop Lukaku from the squad, because he was saying that this is noise that his team does not want at the moment, because he thought then that this is a game that he wants his players to be fully focused and not to going into the game thinking about the fact that Lukaku is on the pitch, saying that he wants to leave the club after being the most expensive signing in the history of the Chelsea Football Club. So it's good to hear Lukaku being backed in the squad. He did an interview recently where he apologized to the fans, and we heard where the coach, is saying that he's happy, he's excited that Romelu apologized and is back in the squad for training. He's saying that we are happy to take Lukaku, back in training. The whole fact that it is important, or he's an important player to the team. And I quote, Romelu apologized and is back in the squad for training. We were happy to take the time to talk calmly about the situation. He said that he would have had a sit-down meeting with himself and Lukaku. And Lukaku has apologized to, the team, to his teammates, to the board of Chelsea, to the club in general, because of course you don't want to be on the park playing football matches and you're getting booed, the fans booing you about the whole fact that you did an interview and you did not apologize. So Lukaku, he took it upon himself, knowing the importance of apologizing to the fans, and he, in a recent interview, apologized and said that he's sorry, to the fans. And I quote what Lukaku said about within that interview. I am sorry for the upset, because you guys know the connection that I have for this club since my teenage years. So I totally understand you guys being upset. Obviously, it's up to me now to restore your trust. And I'll do my best to show commitment every day on the training ground and in games, trying to make sure that we win games. And also, to the manager, I apologize, and also to my teammates and the board, because, I think it was the right moment. It was not the right moment, sorry. I want to move forward from this and make sure that we start winning football games. So this is Lukaku apologizing to the fans, to the board, to his managers, because he wants to ensure that, the fans remain trusted in him to score a lot of goals to take the club back to winning a title again. I personally think then, at the time when the coach dropped Lukaku, it wasn't the right time, because I thought then that this coach is just showing that, he's a bigger person, he's in charge, he runs things and all of that. This interview was done probably about 3 weeks before that game against Liverpool. And this is where it becomes challenging for me to understand why would the media release that interview just before the big game playing against Liverpool, and why the coach at that time know that this is arguably the biggest game, because this game would have kept them within striking distance having won that game. Well, unfortunately, they drew the game, and as such, they are, way off from being at the top with Manchester City, who seem to be running away with the title. So I am excited about the fact that Lukaku apologized and he's now back in the squad. But I think, the whole fact that he's back in the squad will cause some change or some motivation, because having a player like Lukaku on the park playing against other teams, you can rely on Lukaku. And of course, even though Lukaku said in his interview that he has a desire to return to Inter Milan, I am sure he wasn't saying that he wanted to go back to Inter Milan at the present moment. He was saying that he hoped that someday he goes back to Inter Milan to link up with former players and his best friends there. For example, Lorenzo Martinez, one of his best friend, down there in Italy, and he loved the fans in Italy. He loved playing in Italy. Unfortunately, at the time when he made the move to Chelsea, I just think that it wasn't the right time, because he crowned himself king in Italy after taking Inter Milan to winning a title after so many years. They stopped the run of Juventus. And I'm excited about the fact that Lukaku is back. Hopefully, Lukaku can take his team back to winning ways. I think their next outing is against Tottenham Hotspur. That's another London derby. And the apology, because he was out of the squad, it came at the right time, because now he's available to play against Tottenham Hotspur, and he's available to play in the London derby, which we know for a fact has always been a fireworks, cracking game. We see where Harry Kane is doing it all over there for Tottenham, main striker for Tottenham. So for Chelsea to be getting back their main striker, Lukaku, back in the fold, I think now it is exciting time for him. I think it's exciting time for the club, particularly because of the fact that Lukaku now will have something to prove to the fans and to his managers, because if he's not winning the games, if he's not scoring the goals, being the most expensive signing in the history of the club, then he will come under some pressure. I just thought that the coach could play Lukaku in that game against Liverpool, but I am not the coach. Who am I to say what the coach should do or should have done? So we're just hoping now that this will be a change in heart, and this will be a change in time for Lukaku and the Chelsea Football Club, and that they will go back to winning ways, and of course can challenge for the title again. So yes, guys, so there you have it. Lukaku is officially back in the squad. Leave a comment in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, please consider subscribing to the channel.